Namaste yogis. Thank you for joining me today. Before starting our session, I'd like to show you how to make a homemade veggie wash. As you know, store-sold vegetables are full of pesticides, fungicides, waxes, and preservatives to make them look good on the shelves and last longer. These chemicals have been linked to anything from reproductive and developmental problems, various forms of cancer, kidney and liver damage, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and ADHD and autism in children. Even when you think you are eating healthy by consuming fruits and vegetables, you may actually be poisoning yourself by ingesting harmful chemicals along with them. So what can we do? We can grow our own food, but that is not always an option that is available all the time and for all types of fruits and vegetables. Peeling fruits and vegetables can help somewhat, but it is not always practical. Imagine having to peel your blueberries and strawberries. Another option would be to use a veggie wash. You can go out and buy a pre-mixed wash, or you can make your own. A recipe for making your own is 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, and 1 cup of water. It's pretty easy. This here is actually an old bottle of veggie wash that I bought many years ago before learning how to make it myself. So I keep reusing this bottle over and over and have done so for many years now. By making your own instead of buying it each time, you will also be producing less waste. So you save money, you save the environment, and you save yourself and your family from harmful chemicals by using a homemade veggie wash. So what you do once you mix your solution is to spray it on your produce and rub it in for about 20 to 30 seconds. And then you rinse it out with water, or you can let it soak in the solution for 5 minutes or so. Some items are harder to wash, like leafy greens, so you can soak them. So today's quiz is name one of the most contaminated fruits or vegetables. Please write it in the comments section. You can Google it if you wish, or you can just take a guess. You may be surprised just how many chemicals are added to our food products. And now let's start our practice. Bring your hands in Namaste. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bonaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shante Shante Shantihi. Today's talk is about the second of the niyamas called Santosha. It is usually translated as contentment. As usual, let's first take a look at what the Yoga Sutras have to say about Santosha. From an attitude of contentment, unexcelled happiness, mental comfort, joy, and satisfaction is obtained. Years ago, I watched a televised interview of an American billionaire. During the first part of the program, they showed all the material riches that the man managed to accumulate in his lifetime. It included things like several vacation homes in various countries, cars, boats, and other luxury vehicles, expensive antique furniture, collectible items, and just an enormous amount of possessions. He traveled the world on his private jet, and servants attended his every need. At the end of the program, the interviewer asked the billionaire a question. You have accumulated so much wealth in your lifetime. You have everything that anyone could ever wish for and more. Is there anything you still feel that you lack in life, or something that you still want? The billionaire boastfully replied, Yes, there is. I am only number 4 on the Forbes list. I want to be number 1. The ancient text, the Bhagavad Gita, warns of the 3 gates leading to the hell of self-destruction for the soul: lust, anger, and greed. There is no limit to the human greed. Look at the rich and famous people in the news with all their fame and fortune, yet many of them are unhappy. They get divorced, end up addicted to drugs or alcohol, are often in legal battles or in trouble with the law. They have their personal problems exposed in the media, and some end up taking their own life. They have more than they need, yet they still compare themselves to others and feel that they need more, just because someone has more than they do. People who mistake pleasure for happiness spend their entire life sacrificing happiness in order to attain pleasure. Most of them are intelligent people, and yet they have not discovered the secret to attaining happiness. Or should I say, they do not know the meaning of happiness, because once you know the meaning, you will instinctively know how to obtain it. Pleasure is of the material world, while happiness is a state of mind. The secret to attaining happiness is not to buy all the possessions that one wants, it is to get rid of the wants. The richest person is the one who is thankful for the simplest things. Roman philosopher Seneca said it well with his quote, "The highest wealth is the absence of greed." If we wish to attain spiritual wealth, then we must get rid of the greed. As the Yoga Sutras teach, contentment is an attitude. It is a choice that we make. To cultivate an attitude of contentment, we must first learn to appreciate the beauty around us in our everyday life. The people around us, the roof over our head, the food that we eat, for example. Everything around us is a sacred gift. And at the same time, we must see that everything around us is meaningless. Meaningless in the sense that they are simply props on the stage that we call life, and are not part of our true identity. Everything that we perceive in this world is fleeting. No matter how many possessions we have or do not have in this lifetime, they are only a minor secondary detail on our path to self-realization. In other words, embrace them but do not cling to them. It is in discovering our true identity that we will find eternal happiness. Happiness that no amount of money can buy. Amen. And now let us stand up to begin our practice. Let's begin with a loosening practice. Inhale, raise your right arm up, look up. Exhale, raise your left arm up, look up. Go side to side. Close your eyes if available. Do about 10 in each direction. If you cannot raise your arms all the way up, you can just go halfway to about shoulder height. By the way, this is a nice stretch to do in the morning when you just get out of bed. Let's do one more to each side. And release. The next exercise is called yogic jogging. It is a cardiovascular exercise and you can make it as gentle or as challenging as you like. Let me demonstrate first. Make fists with your hands with your thumbs inside and place them on your chest. There are 4 parts to this exercise. The first part will bring the knees forward. You can go at a walking or a full jogging pace or anywhere in between. The second part will kick the heels out to the side. Again, you can go at walking pace, full jogging pace, or anywhere in between. During the third part, we'll kick the heels towards the hips and again go as slow or as fast as you like to go. By then you should be tired. So we will stand with the feet slightly apart, bring the hands on the knees, inhale from the nose and forcefully exhale from the mouth. Repeat 8 to 10 times as you try to return to your normal state as soon as possible. Now let's begin. Stand with your feet slightly apart, bring your hands onto your chest, and start with the knees forward. Go at your own speed. We'll do it for about 30 seconds. And now we will kick the heels out to the side for about 30 seconds. And next we will kick the heels backwards. If it's too much, you can always back off. And release. Stand with your feet slightly apart. Bring your hands to your knees. Inhale from the nose and exhale from the mouth. Do about 8 to 10 or even more to catch up on your breath. And come back to a standing position. We'll go right into a back bend while interlacing our hands behind the back. Stand with your feet comfortably apart, and with your inhale, let your head fall back. If you did a more strenuous version of yogic jogging, you may still be out of breath. Try to use this time to relax and catch your breath. Inhale, come up, and exhale, slowly fold forward. Your hands can be raised behind your head, or your hands can be on your back. Relax and breathe deeply. Inhale, slowly come back up, and exhale, release the pose. The next pose is Natarajasana, or King Dancer pose. As always, take the support of a wall if needed, and you can stay upright or lean forward. Now let's begin. Grab your left ankle with your left hand or use a strap. Extend your right arm upwards. You can hold it here, or optionally you can take your right arm forward. If you are ready to go deeper into the pose, you can lean forward. And also you can kick out with your left foot, pulling it back with your left hand and using the resistance to make it into a slight back bend and hold. Pick an unmoving point ahead of you to stare at, called the drishti point, and breathe deeply. Inhale, slowly come up, and exhale, release. Take a break. Next, we'll do the other side. When you're ready, grab your right ankle with your right hand or use a strap. Extend your left arm upwards or forwards. If you like to go further, you can lean forward or you can kick out with your right foot, pull your right foot in with your right hand and use the resistance to go into a slight back bend. This pose stretches the chest and shoulders, strengthens the back and legs, and improves balance. Inhale, come up, exhale, release, take a break. Next is a standing shoulder stretch. Take your right arm up, bend the elbow, take your left hand and press your right elbow back and feel a nice stretch in your right arm and shoulders. You might even feel a stretch in your torso. We'll hold it here for a little while. Inhale, and with your exhale, release the pose. Shake it out, and we'll switch sides. When you're ready, take the left arm up, bend the elbow, take your right hand up and press your left elbow back, and then relax into the pose. Feel a nice stretch in your left arm and shoulders, and maybe in the torso. The more stretches you do each day, the more flexible you become. If you have shoulder pains, just do the best that you can. Inhale and exhale, release. Take a break. Next is a posture called Ekapada Utkatasana, or one-legged chair pose. We'll do it with our hands in Namaste today. Bend your right knee and bring your right ankle on your left knee. Then start bending your left knee while trying to hold your balance. Go as low as you like to go. The lower you go, the balance is actually easier, but it takes a little more strength and flexibility. Stare at your drishti point and take deep breaths to relax. This pose is mainly for the legs, hips, and lower back. It also helps with the balance. Inhale and exhale, release. And we'll switch sides. When you're ready, bend your left knee and bring your left ankle on your right thigh. Bring your hands in Namaste and start bending your right knee as far as you'd like to go. And hold. Inhale and exhale, release, come to a standing position. Next we'll come to table pose. Next pose is a stretch for the legs. Step back with your left foot, plant the toes in the mat, and push down on your left heel. You can stay here or you can raise your right knee if you like to go deeper, and hold it here. This pose stretches the glutes, hamstrings, calves, and Achilles tendon. Inhale, and with your exhale, release the pose. We'll switch sides. Step back with your right foot, plant the bottom of the toes onto the mat, and push back into your right heel. If you like to go deeper, you can lift your left knee off of the mat and press even deeper into the right heel. Feel a nice extension to the back of your right leg. If you are a runner, this stretch may be familiar to you. Inhale, and with your exhale, come back to table pose. Next is a variation of side plank pose. Step your left foot back and plant the sole of the foot into the mat. Make sure your right shoulder is directly above your right wrist. And when you're ready, inhale, slowly take your left arm up to the sky, spreading the fingers wide apart, looking upwards. You can stay here, or if you feel like challenging yourself, lift your left leg off of the floor. Bring the leg parallel to the ground. And if you like a little extra challenge, you can close your eyes. We'll hold the pose here for a little while. Inhale and exhale, bring your left hand and left knee back to the mat into table pose and relax. When you're ready, we'll do the other side. Step back with your right foot, plant the sole of the foot into the mat. Make sure your left shoulder is directly above your left wrist. When you're ready, inhale, raise your right arm towards the sky, looking upwards, spreading the right fingers wide apart. Either hold it here or you can raise your right leg off of the mat. If possible, try to bring the right leg parallel to the floor. Make your own modifications. Hold it where it is a little challenging but not too difficult. Inhale and exhale, lower your right hand and right knee back to the mat into table pose. Relax. The next pose is called Revolved Child's Pose or Parsva Balasana, or sometimes thread the needle pose. Inhale, raise your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread your right arm under the left. Bring your right shoulder to the mat and look to the left. Relax here. You can hold it here, or you can take your left arm up to the sky, spreading the fingers apart, or you can even take your left arm behind the back. Hold it wherever it feels good to you today and relax. The main benefits of this pose are to improve circulation, reduce belly fat, and help with digestion. Bring your left hand to the mat if it's not there already. Inhale, raise your right arm, spin open, stretch upwards, look up, and exhale, release. Bring your right hand back to the mat and take a break. Now we'll do the other side. When you're ready, inhale, spin open with your left arm, look up. Exhale, thread the left arm under the right, look to your right, and bring your left shoulder towards the mat. You can either stay here or raise your right arm up to the sky, fingers spread apart, or take your right hand behind your back. If you're more flexible, you might be able to grab the inside of your left thigh with your right hand. Hold it wherever you are and relax. Place your right hand on the mat if it's not there already. Then inhale, spin open with your left arm, look upwards. And exhale, bring your left hand back to the mat into table pose. Let's come to Sukhasana, cross-legged pose, or any comfortable seated position. And then let's give our wrists a nice shake. Let's do a wrist stretch. Extend your right arm forward, point the fingers down, and use your left hand to gently pull your right hand towards you. And hold it here. This stretch is good for those of you who do a lot of typing on the computer, play the piano, do quilting, or who do any type of detail work which involves the hands. We'll release and point the right fingers upwards, and then use the left hand to pull the right fingers towards you. You should feel this on the bottom side of your wrist. Release, shake out the right wrist, and we'll switch sides. Extend your left arm forward, point the fingers downwards, then grab your left hand with your right hand and gently pull the hand towards you. Feeling a nice stretch on the top side of your left arm. Next, we will point the left fingers upwards and use your right hand to pull your left hand gently towards you. Feeling the stretch to the bottom side of your left arm. Release and shake your left wrist out. Next, we will lie on our back for some yoga crunches. Start with your feet about hip width or slightly wider on the mat. For those of you with shoulder issues, start with your arms pointing straight up. Otherwise, raise your arms above your head. With your exhale, come up and bring your hands between the knees. Feel a nice crunch in your stomach, but your lower back should remain on the mat. Inhale, come back down. Exhale, take your hands to the outside of the knees. Inhale down, exhale up. Go inside and outside of the knees, about 10 in each direction. Here is the version for those of you who have shoulder issues. Note that the arms do not go beyond the head. This is a great pose to get rid of that belly fat. It also strengthens the back. By not coming all the way up, we are protecting the lower back while getting as much benefit as normal crunches. When you finish, hug your knees into the body and rock from side to side, massaging out your back. Release. Next, we'll lie down on our back. If you have a strap, you may wish to use it for this pose. If you have a strap, hook it on your right foot, then extend your right leg out. If you don't have a strap, you can grab anywhere along the right leg. We'll start by holding the strap with both hands and gently pulling the right leg in towards you. Try to keep the right knee as straight as possible. Next, we are going to open the right leg out to the right side. You can hold the outside of the right foot with the right hand and lower the leg to the right. Or you can use your strap, holding it with your right hand and lowering the leg to the right. Let's do it together. When you're ready, exhale, lower your right leg to the right side, turn your head to the left. Your left arm can be above your head or on your waist or extended out to the side. Try to keep your right leg as straight as possible. Inhale and exhale, come back to the center and we'll switch sides. Grab the strap with your left hand or take your left hand to the outside of the right leg and we'll lower the right leg to the left side this time. Inhale and with your exhale, take your right leg to the left side, turn your head to the right and choose your own position for the right arm. With your exhale, bring the right leg back to the center and then release. We'll switch legs. Extend your left leg up. You can grab it with both hands or hook the strap around your left foot and pull the strap towards you, trying to keep the left knee straight. Next, we'll grab the strap or the left leg with the left hand and swing the left leg out to the left side. Turning the head to the right, extending the right arm out wherever it feels good. With your exhale, come back to the center and we'll switch hands. Take your right hand to the outside of the left leg wherever you like, or grab the strap. Then gently lower your left leg to the right side, turn your head to the left side. Extend your left arm out wherever it feels good. Exhale, come back to the center. Next, we'll add the right foot back into the strap if you're using one, and then let your legs spread open in a wide V. If you're not using a strap, you can grab your feet or anywhere along the legs. Try to get the knees as straight as possible and hold. Select the version that works for you and let your legs fall wide open to the sides. You should be feeling a nice stretch in the inner thighs. Inhale, and with your exhale, release the pose. Remove the strap if you're using one. Bring the soles of the feet together, spread your knees apart, then grab your feet from between your knees. If this is too difficult, you can always use a strap, hooking the strap around the feet and gently pulling the strap towards you using both hands. Or for those of you who are more flexible, you can wrap your arms around the legs and pull them in for a little deeper stretch. Release the pose. Place your hands on your knees and rock side to side, massaging out your back. The next pose is ankle circles. With your feet on the floor, bring your right ankle on your left thigh and make 10 circles in each direction with your right foot, followed by 10 point and flex movements. When you finish, repeat the same thing to your left side. When you finish, release, bring the left foot back to the mat. Next, we'll do a pose called Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall pose. You may choose one of the following 3 versions. In the first version, you extend your legs up in a 90-degree angle and hold. The second version uses a wall. Lying on the floor, place your butt against the wall, then slowly raise one leg at a time, sliding them along the wall. For the full version, we'll raise our hips off of the mat. Swing your legs above your head and use your arms to support your hips. If you are doing the full version and need a little extra challenge, you can bring your legs a little higher into a closer to upright position. We will try to hold it for about a minute today. If you are doing it at home on your own, you can try for 3 to 5 minutes or a maximum of 15 minutes. The word Viparita means inverted or reversed, and Karani means to do or an action. This pose improves circulation, normalizes blood pressure, relieves tension, and according to Hindu scriptures, it keeps the body youthful. It is a good pose to do when you feel stressed out, or a refreshing pose to do at the end of your practice. If your legs are up against the wall, come out of the pose by sliding one leg down at a time. If you're in full Viparita Karani, use your arms to slowly release your hips to the mat, then extend your legs to the mat. And now let's come into a comfortable seated position to prepare for meditation. At the beginning of this session, we mentioned the importance of being grateful for the small things in life. Is it possible for someone who is not grateful to become grateful, or for someone to become increasingly grateful through conscious practice? The answer is yes, and that is the exercise that we will do today. I have named it gratitude development. We will spend the next few minutes creating feelings of gratefulness. We will think of all the things in our life that we have to be grateful for. From the people in our life, to the house that we live in, the job that we work, the food that we eat. Those are obvious ones, but let's take it a little further. Have you ever appreciated the garbage collectors that pick up your garbage every week? Or the bees that pollinate your food? Or the tree in your backyard that provides shade, prevents erosion, and gives you oxygen to breathe? Think of as many things as possible that you can be grateful for. You can get a pen and paper and write out a list if you wish. We can do this exercise every morning as we wake up, at night before we go to bed, or any time really. I have seen people set their clock to beep every hour, and they would spend a minute in gratitude whenever the alarm went off. What a beautiful practice. So we will try it today for a few minutes. Start by sitting comfortably. You can lie down on a mat or even sit in a chair. Close your eyes, straighten your back, place your hands on your knees or to your side if you are lying down, and then take a couple of deep breaths. Now we will begin the practice. Start thinking of all the things in your life, big or small, that you are grateful for. You should not run out of things. For instance, if you think of the shirt you are wearing, someone made the buttons, someone produced the cloth, someone produced the thread, and someone sewed it all together for you. Someone had to sell it, and someone else had to deliver it to wherever you purchased it. So many factors are involved in making your life just the way it is. Continue with the practice until you are called back. Now let us slowly come out of the practice, blinking a few times and then opening your eyes. So, how did the meditation go? Today we did yoga jogging, which some of you may have found unusual or perhaps a little difficult. There are many styles of yoga. Some are very strenuous. In this class, normally I teach more gentle poses, more centered around stretches and balances and training the mind or focus. But once in a while I will throw in these little more strenuous, difficult exercises, so be prepared. Okay, now we will end our practice. We'll lie on the back in Shavasana. And as usual, pause the video and go into Shavasana. Take Shavasana as long as you'd like. And when you feel ready, maybe do a few stretches, come back to a seated position and press the start button again. We'll end the practice with our final chant. And Namaste. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.